Marvel movies crush at the Oscars. We get a new toy leak spoiling Iron Man's new weapon in Avengers Endgame, and Kevin Feige teases the next date we'll see an Avengers Endgame trailer. Stay up to date about the nerdy things that you care about. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next episode. What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. I'm, of course, Josh. This is, of course, the Den of Nerds, and man, do we have a juicy and full show for you today. Before we get into the news, let's shout out Nathan But Games. Love that name. Very cool name. Yes, indeed, these are all of Hank Pym's aliases from the comics. You definitely know your stuff when it comes to Marvel Comics, so shout out to you, Nathan, and we'll do another nerd card question at the end of this video. Show video. Guys, Marvel movies crushed last night at the Oscars, and comic book fans around the world should be pretty pumped about this fact. Into the SpiderVerse won Best Animated Film, and Black Panther won 3 separate Oscars. First, I just want to say that Into the SpiderVerse is an incredible film. I actually watched it during my 2-week break from this show, so we didn't talk about it too much here on the channel, but guys, it's amazing, great movie, super happy that that movie won the Oscar. As a big Miles Morales fan, they took a couple of very important beats from his early comic book run and put it into this movie. It's massively done, just a very good film. Highly recommend you check it out. And it's amazing that Sony took this kind of a chance, did this kind of a movie in the animated version, and they win Oscar Gold. Just incredible. Super happy for everybody that worked on that project. Next up, Black Panther, and Black Panther won the most Oscars out of any comic book fan ever. It won for costume design, it won for production design, and it won for Best Original Score. Now, in their respective orders, we want to recognize Ruth E. Carter, who won for Best Costume Design for Black Panther, Hannah Beecher, who won for the production design for Black Panther, and Ludwig Göransson. I think I'm saying his name right, who won for Best Score. Now, particularly with Ludwig, I remember when he was brought on, I think he has worked with Ryan Coogler before, and I remember when he was brought on, it was like a big deal. People were like, wow, this is gonna be very, very cool. And of course, it's amazing that Ruth and Hannah won in their respective categories. And honestly, when it comes to Black Panther, like when I first saw the movie in theaters, I was like, okay, it's pretty good, but I don't know, I think it's a little overhyped. I later watched the movie alone at home, and I was like more into it the second and third time that I watched it. I really do think that it is a very good piece of cinema, and ultimately the costumes and the production design and the music all are very important aspects to what I always talk about on this channel as the mise-en-scène, or the overall feeling or vibe or aesthetic of a film. And it's just great that part of the film was recognized. I think it completely deserves that. I'm very happy for everyone involved over at Marvel Studios and with Black Panther. It's just a great day to be a nerd, man. We took home serious Oscar Gold last night. Now, Kevin Feige himself was talking about when we will see another trailer for Avengers Endgame. He said we are absolutely getting another trailer, and it will be released relatively soon. Now, when he said this, a lot of people ran with it possibly coming out the night of the Oscars, and obviously that's a huge televised thing. It would make sense to maybe have a TV spot or something there. Ultimately, that did not happen, but now when looking at what he suggested, I think the best bet is that they'll obviously run an Avengers Endgame trailer with Captain Marvel. I mean, it just totally makes sense. A lot of people are going to be going out to see Captain Marvel. Makes sense that they'll put the trailer there. So, probably want to just look at that for our next good bit of actual footage from the film, unless all the trailers are fake, like some of us believe, and I kind of believe. But yeah, just a little update about the trailer, guys. I would say Captain Marvel, that's when we're going to get the next one. Now, let's finish off today's show by talking about these very spicy toy leaks. And a couple of different toy leaks dropped late last night. This one here is particularly interesting. It is a 2-piece Marvel Legends set that has 2 figures in these advanced gear suits. That would be Natasha Romanoff and Clint Barton, Hawkeye and Black Widow. But what's really interesting is in the middle of the pack here, there are 3 removable heads that are belonging to Nebula, Iron Man, and Ant-Man. And I think the idea here is that those heads can pop on to these other suits, and that all of these characters will be wearing these advanced gear suits in the movie. And so that's pretty cool, just further evidence that these suits are going to play an important role in the movie. As I've said in more recent videos, I'm starting to lean towards these not necessarily being quantum realm suits or space suits, but having some kind of a protective property. I think Tony is probably just beefing everybody up. This just gives them extra hit points, makes them look kind of cool. It could possibly have something to do with the quantum realm. There's a lot of theories that a final battle will take place in the quantum realm, so maybe that's what these are for. But the big thing here is the fact that Ant-Man is going to be wearing one of these suits. His suit can already work in the quantum realm. So it kind of makes me think that maybe they're not quantum suits, because if they're putting him in an advanced gear suit, there'd have to be a reason other than just going into the quantum realm. We then got a leak of a toy for Iron Man in which he is in the advanced gear suits, and he's also holding this incredibly large cannon on his arm. At least that's what's on the packaging. And of course you can see right here the actual item that will come with the toy. Massive freaking cannon, man. Now people have been speculating about the Proton Cannon being in this movie for a long time. There are supposedly leaked scenes that explain them putting even Infinity Stones into a type of cannon and using that as a weapon. There are other leaks about War Machine that sort of tease him possibly having a big massive cannon and a weapon. There's the shot that the Russo brothers teased everybody with, and a lot of people thought this was the Proton Cannon we were looking at here. And this leak here is like the best evidence yet that we will be getting the Proton Cannon in Avengers Endgame. Now we have to talk about what the Russo brothers said about toy leaks, because super relevant here, they're not always 100% accurate, okay? So I think by now we're all pretty damn sure that the advanced gear suits are gonna be in the movie. In fact, I'll go out on a limb here. They're gonna be in the movie. I don't really think it's going out on a limb, but whatever. But we're not 100% sure about stuff like this. Remember, they did have Hulk busting out of the Hulkbuster armor in a toy for Infinity War. That never happened. So maybe this big weapon on Tony's arm here is just to sell toys. It could not be in the film, but when you consider all the other talk about this, I'm starting to really believe that this will indeed be a Proton Cannon. So if anything, this puts me at like over 80% sure that this weapon will be in Endgame, and I do believe also that War Machine will get a version of this weapon as well. This mostly has to do with the fact that I think Tony's gonna be doing what he does and just building and developing suits. We've seen now that War Machine's gonna get a Hulkbuster version. He's got a bulkier, weirder spacesuit thing that's coming. We see Iron Man in the Mark 85 gear, and then of course he's also wearing this advanced gear here. And so Tony's going crazy. It's probably the last movie he's gonna be in for a while. I say, why the hell not? Give us these massive Proton Cannons. Give us some crazy battle with War Machine and Iron Man, just loading up these huge massive cannons and just blasting them out there. Man, everybody's gonna want that toy. And that is the news, guys. Oh, what a day to be a nerd. Marvel movies crush at the Oscars. We're gonna be getting another Endgame trailer probably on Captain Marvel, which looks to be a very good movie in and of itself. And new toy leaks, teasing, hinting, leaking, spoiling perhaps the use of the Proton Cannon against Thanos in Avengers Endgame. I'm pretty hype on all of this. I want to know what you think about this. Drop a comment below. We'll probably be doing another fan chat tomorrow where we go over a ton of Marvel stuff, but man, what a loaded show today. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Now let's check the nerd card before we get out of here. I want to know what DCEU movie won an Oscar before any Marvel movie, and it was also for costume design, similar to Black Panther. What movie won Oscar Gold for the DCEU? Answer that question in the comment section below. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video. And yes, I know I need a haircut, Mom. I know you watch these videos, and I know I need a haircut. I'm gonna get a haircut, relax.